The following is a presentation of the Arizona Cardinals Broadcast Network.
Detail your work, let's go!
This is Cards HQ. From team headquarters in Tempe, your host, Jody Jackson.
Finding their first win of 2018 is proving elusive for the Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks a field goal better than the Cardinals on Sunday, dropping the team to 0-4, their worst start since 1986. Hi, and welcome to Cards HQ. I'm Jody Jackson. 1986, well, the Cardinals were still in St. Louis, so it's difficult to stomach. Fans in the state of Arizona haven't seen this type of a beginning to a season. But follow me here if you will. 0-4 is tough, and we all know it's a results business. The bottom line is what matters. But in this case, we are seeing something else that we haven't seen in a very long time. A franchise quarterback emerging. Josh Rosen proved on Sunday that the Cardinals are a team on the rise, if for no other reason than the play of the 21-year-old from UCLA. A quarterback of the future is the most difficult thing to find in the NFL, and it appears the Cardinals have one. Hall of Famer Kurt Warner and Carson Palmer were quarterbacks who led this franchise to great heights, but both were in the second half of their careers when they arrived. Right now, it's about a long-term plan rather than a short-term one. Now, Rosen did not get enough help on Sunday, so that brings us to our pivotal moments. The Rosen one making his first career start for the Cardinals at home, and he was pumped up, as were all of the fans. First series, 2nd and 10, off the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. You do not see that too often. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks, Mike Davis with a 20-yard touchdown run, and it's the Seahawks who get on the board first, 7-0. Rosen got it going here to Christian Kirk for 11 yards, and then it appeared he connected here with Chad Williams for his first NFL touchdown pass and the first catch of his career for Williams, but the call was overturned. Rosen stayed composed, came right back and hit Fitzgerald for 16 yards. Then the Cardinals had to settle for a field goal, though, 7-3 now. After a 53-yard miss by Sebastian Janikowski, the Cardinals have good field position, and Rosen going deep for J.J. Nelson.
It is play action. Rosen setting up, taking a deep shot for Nelson, middle of the field, and he juggles it, and he catches it. No, they rule incomplete. He couldn't hang on.
Oh my goodness.
The Cardinals keep the ball moving, however. David Johnson for 21 yards. Then on 3rd and 5, Rosen keeps the drive alive, connecting with Fitz, who lays out for the catch. After a pass interference penalty, Johnson punches it in from the 1. 10-7, Cards lead at the half. Third quarter, game tied at 10. Seahawks take a 17-10 lead on another Davis touchdown. Then it's 1st and 10 at their 20. Rosen to Ricky Seals-Jones for 31 yards. A beautiful pass into a tight window. And then a successful screen pass behind a caravan of blockers. David Johnson rumbles for 30 yards down to the Seattle 19. They had a touchdown taken away earlier in the game, but not this time as Rosen and Williams connect.
Rosen with a play fake. Rosen setting up, looking, still looking. Now fires left side, low pass in the end zone, but it is caught, and it's a touchdown by Chad Williams. First NFL touchdown pass by the Rosen one.
The Cards defense forces a 3-and-out. Can Rosen drive the team to a late lead? He hits David Johnson here for 6 on 3rd and 5. Then, finding Ricky Seals-Jones for 21, and the team closing in on field goal range. 3rd and 6 at the Seattle 27, a run play here, David Johnson for no gain. That sets up this Phil Dawson field goal attempt from 45 yards out.
Snap, ball is down, the kick is up, and it is wide to the right, no good. Wide to the right, no good.
The Seahawks get the ball back, and they move it down the field with ease. That sets up an attempt for Sebastian Janikowski, who missed a couple of field goals in this game, but this one is for the win.
Snap, ball is down, the kick is up from Janikowski, and it is good. It's good, and Seattle wins it.
It was a terrible kick. No excuses. I didn't do my job well today. Just a good old-fashioned miss.
I think early in the game, when I tried to throw it to Chad and it kind of went over his hands, we had a field goal like Christian standing wide open in the back of the end zone. So we all got things we got to work on. And I think everyone had a couple mistakes, and if maybe one of those mistakes didn't happen, we'd be sitting here with a W. So we're all accountable.
It was on me. And again, I felt like we were in a good situation from a standpoint of the field goal. And what I was really trying to do is manage the clock there and trying to get them, less time as possible coming back, and also trying to get those guys to use their timeout.
Plenty of positives in this game despite the loss. Dave Pasha and Ron Wolfley had the call on the Cardinals radio network. They talk about the number one bright spot, and that was quarterback Josh Rosen. And on defense, there's one particular play the Seahawks ran that the Cardinals are going to have to clean up. That and more in this week's 2-Minute Drill.
Welcome to another edition of the Arizona Cardinals 2-Minute Drill. Dave Pasch alongside Ron Wolfley. Wolf, it's another loss. The Cardinals are 0-4, but there was a major bright spot, and his name is Josh Rosen.
No doubt about it, David. Josh Rosen came out here and played as well as I think he possibly could have played. I think that is the headline here. I think he had way too many drops. He didn't get a lot of help out there from his wide receivers. J.J. Nelson was a touchdown, probably about 70 yards right there. Christian Kirk put one on the ground as well, right? I'd say about 5 legitimate drops that his receivers had out there. And honestly, to me, that's just way too many for the National Football League. The thing I liked the most about Josh Rosen was the fact that he went ahead and actually changed some protections, changed some plays. Looked like he was in control of the offense, but a great start for a young guy, and let's hope it goes as well the rest of the season.
But 17 points not going to be enough to win in the NFL. He had 2 missed field goals. I'm sure there will be a lot of discussion about should the Cardinals have run the ball on third down. It still was a 45-yard attempt that Dawson missed. Defensively, what happened against the zone read? Because the Cardinals had all kinds of trouble stopping Mike Davis on that zone read with Russell Wilson.
I would say, David, that it wasn't just the zone read they had a hard time with. Of the 170-plus yards they gave up rushing in this game, I think near 100 of it probably was off that one play, the zone read, and yet it happened over and over and over again where the defensive end would crash from the outside, come down, and you had Davis just bounce it outside after Russell Wilson would give it to him, and Russell Wilson would go around the corner and actually get out in front of the running back and make a block down the field. We saw that for big gains at least 3 different times. The Cardinals are going to have to clean that up or they're going to be in trouble.
Next 2 games are on the road starting next Sunday in San Francisco, and that is the Arizona Cardinals 2-Minute Drill.
Thanks, guys. Up next, we'll go inside the numbers on the Cardinals-Seahawks game, and DJ Humphries wore the mic. Our Wired segment is coming up. And then we've got Mike Jurecki and Craig Grialou, the co-hosts of Cards Cover 2, checking in on what to expect this week against the Niners.
Cards HQ is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
I'm Jody Jackson, back at Cardinals headquarters. It's all about winning one game for the Cards right now, and the 49ers appear to be a wounded group. Jimmy Garoppolo is out for the season, injuries on the offensive line, but we know it's never that simple. The Cardinals feel good about some things that happened in the body of the game over the last 2 weeks, but now it's about finishing. And with more on that and plenty of Cards-Niners related topics, here's Craig Grialou and Mike Jurecki, the co-hosts of Cards Cover 2.
Thanks a lot, Jody. Well, things changed fast in the NFL. Just ask San Francisco. Already without their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, their running back, Jerick McKinnon, and now MJ, 3/5 of their starting offensive line questionable because of knee injuries, including both tackles.
Yeah, Joe Staley on the left side and their first-round pick from Notre Dame, Mike McClinchy, and they got another issue on the offensive line. We'll see when the injury report comes out towards the end of the week, but if you're San Francisco, as you mentioned, got a backup quarterback. Their second-round pick, Dante Pettis, is nursing an injury. You look at, Pierre Garçon, he's still a savvy veteran, but Marquise Goodwin, he has world-class speed, so it'll be interesting to see. But obviously, you got a backup quarterback in Beathard. They drafted him in the 3rd round, so he's been in that system for at least a couple of years.
And last week, he had a couple of touchdown passes, but he was also picked off a couple of times as well. And we know the NFL waits for no one, so that is what the Cardinals face this week in C.J. Beathard. And you look at the Niners defense, hurting as well. Richard Sherman probably going to miss another game. This is a matchup, at least on paper, in which the Cardinals match up very, very well because talent for talent, they're the better team.
They are the better team on paper, but you got to go in there and you got to play 4 quarters. You know, this team lost in the last 2 games by 5 points. That's the NFL, and obviously Phil Dawson needs to do his job. The defense has to shut down the run game. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, they've drafted guys high in the draft between DeForest Buckner, Solomon Thomas. You know, you throw in Reuben Foster. So they have some players. It's just a matter of they need to be healthy and they got to get more production from that defense.
So let's take care of half of the NFC West. Of course, through the first month of the season, at the top of the division, the Rams, 4 wins, 4 games, and right now looking very unstoppable. Jared Goff is coming off a perfect passer rating and a defense playing well as well.
Yeah, if you look at the top 5 scoring teams in the league, the Rams are in that category. You look at the top 5 defenses, the Rams are in that category, you know, where maybe Kansas City doesn't have the greatest defense. Now, they have to travel to Seattle. Seattle's coming off a win. Maybe they get Chris Carson back, but I just don't think they can get into a shootout, and I don't know if Seattle can score enough points to be in this game. It'd be nice to see someone knock off the Rams, especially a division opponent. But I just don't see it.
Well, you look at Seattle, you talked about coming off the win. They beat the Cardinals, but this Seahawks team, instead of basking in the stuff on the field and the victory, they're dealing with Earl Thomas, placed on injured reserve, and then the league this week announcing that Michael Kendricks, the other linebacker, suspended indefinitely because of insider trading.
Yeah, I was surprised that he was able to play. I mean, obviously you got to wait for the courts, you know, innocent until proven guilty, but the commissioner did have a conversation with Pete Carroll, and they thought they handled everything well. But as of Tuesday, they decided to suspend him. Why didn't they suspend him last week?
Absolutely. The good news is, as you mentioned, the game is in Seattle. Perhaps CenturyLink Field can be an advantage for the Seahawks.
Thanks, guys. Coming up on Cards HQ, we'll check in with our Wired segment as offensive lineman DJ Humphries wore the mic on Sunday. And then we've got Inside the Numbers, a closer look at what happened on the field in the Cardinals-Seahawks game.
Welcome back to Cards HQ.
With the offense under new direction with Josh Rosen, the linemen are feeling it too. DJ Humphries and the guys up front knew going in the challenge of facing the Seattle defensive line, but they had some very good moments in this one. DJ wore the mic. Here's this week's edition of Wired.
The sound and fury of NFL football. Wired.
Good day to get a W. Excuse my French, I'm sorry. Good day to get a W. Yes, sir. We attack all night. He done challenged us this week. He called us out. We attack all night. Attack on 3, 1, 2, 3. Check. Hey, we run, man. Let's go. Let's go, Larry. Beat him. Beat him. Let's go. Was that a touchdown? Was that a touchdown?
Rolling on the field is a touchdown.
Head coach Steve Wilks spoke with safety Trey Boston this week. Now, you see, Boston was part of a Chargers team last year that went 0-4 to start the season, but they ended up 9-7. There are signs that this team can turn things around, and they almost got the W on Sunday. With more on the game and Josh Rosen's impact, we go inside the numbers. It's presented by La Mesa RV.
For the second straight week, the Cardinals' opponent connected on a go-ahead field goal in the final minutes, and the Red Sea left State Farm Stadium with a sour taste in their mouth. The glass appears half full, though, after Josh Rosen's first start as an NFL quarterback. His numbers weren't gaudy, but he showed plenty of the playmaking ability every Cards fan had hoped he would. Rosen finished the game completing 15 of 27 passes for 180 yards and a touchdown. According to Pro Football Focus, Rosen's completion percentage rises from 56% to 72% after adjusting for dropped passes and throwaways. The 22-yard scoring strike to Chad Williams was not only Rosen's first NFL touchdown pass, it was Williams' first NFL touchdown reception. Pass protection was solid, with only 1 sack allowed. On Rosen's touchdown pass to Williams, the line gave their rookie quarterback nearly 5 seconds in a clean pocket to find his open receiver. Punter Andy Lee had another stellar afternoon, averaging more than 50 yards per kick. Lee's 51-yard average on the season is second in the NFL behind Philadelphia's Cameron Johnson. While holding Russell Wilson to just over 170 yards passing, the defense struggled to stop Seattle's rushing attack. The Seahawks averaged 5 yards per carry, while amassing 171 on the ground. The Cards' D made life difficult, however, for the visitors on 3rd down, allowing 0 conversions on 10 attempts. Trey Boston led all tacklers for both teams with 11. Chandler Jones and Hassan Reddick each added a sack. Jones has 8.5 sacks in 6 career games against Seattle, with at least 1 sack in each of those contests. The Cards have not beaten their division rival on home turf since 2012, Wilson's first NFL game.
Time for more post-game reaction now, and everyone was impressed with Rosen's performance. Chad Williams weighed in on the set of Cards OT after the game.
What was it like being in the huddle with Josh Rosen? What was his demeanor like, and what was it like working with the rookie quarterback?
Being in the huddle with Josh, you don't even know he's a rookie. He's real poised. He's a gamer, man. His mentality is win. He's the type of guy, he demands the huddle. And he's a really confident player. So when he comes in the huddle and he looks you in the eyes and just tell you to play, he got so much confidence. He make you feel like, okay, I'm going to take this same confidence to the line when we run this place.
Mm-hmm. Chad, you've had a very strong 2018 already. Even going back to the preseason, we saw there was a difference in your play, in your style of play. Very aggressive. It's like you almost running angry, like somebody owed you money out there. You know what I mean? But the one thing that when I saw you out there today, you had 2 touchdown passes, in my opinion, and 1 I thought was a touchdown. But what has been the difference in year 1 and year 2 for you on a personal level?
Just being able to identify different things. The game is slowing down for me a lot. Being around great guys like Larry and all the older guys that were in the room last year, including the guys that are in the room this year, we just kind of learn different things from each other. And you learn those things about how to be a pro, how to go about certain things. I did an interview earlier this year when I just said, I know where the bathroom is now in the facility, So it's just not like I'm lost. I actually kind of know how things go, and it's transferring. It's really slowing down for me.
So when you had that first touchdown, which I still consider it a touchdown, in the corner, I thought it was a terrific catch. It was a great throw by Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Getting that first reception and having that emotion, I saw the emotional outburst for you. Was that one of those like, okay, finally, I know how to do this?
Yeah, definitely. It's all about just playing your game, letting your game come to you. We have amazing coaching, and they'll do what they need to do to get the ball in your hands. So when your numbers come, man, you just have to do what you've done since you was little, and that's play football. And, it's just football. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
Now, so he talked about that touchdown today. The ball was, the fact that it was put where it was put and the way it dropped in there, you had to make it was a great throw, but you still had to make a pretty darn good catch on that ball.
2 weeks ago in practice, somebody threw me a comeback, and I scooped it that low from the ground. So everything we're doing in the game, man, we've seen it in practice before. That catch I've made in practice. And so immediately when he left his hands, I knew what type of ball it was. I knew what type of catch it was going to be, and I had all total confidence that we're going to make the catch.
Up next on Cards HQ, we bring in our closer, Paul Calvisi, has the Wednesday report before heading to the Bay Area.
Cards HQ has been brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
At 0-4, it seems as if the Cardinals have nowhere to go but up, and the feeling is that the Cardinals could be 2-2, losing the last 2 games by just 5 points. Well, this week they go to the Bay Area and face the 49ers. They fell to 1-3 on the season after losing to the Chargers 29-27. With more on the Cardinals and Josh Rosen's second career start, here's Paul Calvisi with the Wednesday report.
Jody, for all the props and praise of Josh Rosen in his first NFL start, and rightfully so, he didn't commit a single turnover. He knows ultimately that QBs are judged by W's.
I don't even care if I play worse as long as we win.
Because no one can tell Rosen that he can't play. Even at 21, the youngest starting quarterback ever for the Cardinals, he has that much belief.
I'm a very confident person. I mean, even if I have no reason to, I'll find a way to fool myself into going out there with full confidence that we're going to win every single game we play.
He just has that level of confidence. You can hear, when he's calling the play, that we're going to go out there and execute it.
In fact, Coach Wilkes told a story of the play clock winding down, getting close to a delay of game. So
I called timeout, and after that series, he was coming over to the sideline. He said, "Coach, I got it. I'm looking at the play clock. I trust me, I got it." So in that moment, just that confidence to say, you know what, let him go play. He's in control.
I always say Monday through Saturdays for thinking and Sundays for reacting.
Coach Wilkes also shared that after the missed 45-yard field goal on Monday, he called his kicker, Phil Dawson.
He said Josh came up to him after the game, and here's an older guy, veteran guy, and he's getting encouraged by a rookie quarterback.
Here's a rookie making his first start, and he comes up to the oldest guy, second oldest guy in the league, and has some words of encouragement. So I think this whole locker room can benefit from leadership like that.
And finally, if you notice, Josh Rosen, he grabbed the football after his first career touchdown pass. Thing is, it was Chad Williams' first career touchdown catch. So we leave you with this conundrum.
I did pick it up, but we're figuring out. I'm seeing if you can cut it in half or something. Get one side painted and the other, but we'll figure it out.
Thanks, Paul. The Cardinals have to work on finishing the game, and it's a progression with teams that are still finding themselves. But you get the sense that the Cardinals are coming together, not straying from the plan. And a lot of that is due to the quarterback. Strong quarterback play gives the entire team hope, even after a game where the run defense and kicking team struggled. It's what matters most. There's that confidence that when the offense has the ball, great things might happen. And that's exactly what everyone is looking toward in San Francisco for Week 5. Until then, I'm Jody Jackson from Cardinals headquarters.